So today I wore Riiffs Fleurie Violette. Here we are. You've seen this bottle before. This is their impression of vanilla powder. Now I also have Khadlaj Fursan White, which is also vanilla powder. I shared that with you in my Serenity Scents video. Both of these are absolutely beautiful, beautiful impressions. I still don't have the original bottle, but as you know, I have these, and so not in a big rush to go out and get the original bottle, but let me tell you something. These are certainly so satisfying. Riiffs, Khadlaj, you know, vanilla powder, if you're curious about it, get one or the other and just decide if you like those fragrances. You might want to try the original or even perhaps the Extrait, which I have never tried, but I've heard many people say that they often have both and they don't feel like it's, a duality where they feel like they have more than the same fragrance. So I do think it's worth checking out if you're just curious about the scent profile, not necessarily ready for the investment. Trying out Riiffs or Khadlaj is just a personal preference. If I had to choose, again, I don't know what the original smells like, so I couldn't compare and say, do I like this better than Fursan White? Or do I like Fursan White better than this? They both give me a positive outcome. So when I find the opportunity to get a sample of the original vanilla powder, then we can do that comparison. But for now, I wore this along with Khadlaj Sawaar. This is Vanille Blanc, Sawaar Vanille Blanc. This is the vanilla woody sweet fragrance and super duper long lasting. I really could have just worn this by itself. Both of these would have taken me throughout the day solo, but as you know, I like to pair my fragrances and I didn't have any regrets putting these together. Great success. I did get 3 compliments around about midday on these fragrances, and I did not pair them with any oils today. Normally I do put an oil, even if it's just on my clothing, because today, as you can see, I'm wearing a cloth, like a dark colored, relaxing lounging suit. Some people would say it's a jogging suit, but it would absorb into my clothing, and I could have worn oil. I just didn't. I just wore these, and I was completely satisfied. So great pairing opportunity should you be curious and want to give it a try. Had a great time with these today. Yesterday, I wore something a little lighter. I went in with my Aromatix Tease Me. Now here's where I am on this. I am about a quarter down, almost halfway through this bottle. Absolutely no regrets, and I will certainly keep this in my collection. I love all of my fragrances from Aromatix, with the exception of one. You might already know, Carnal Desire. We don't get along. We're cordial, we're friendly to one another, but we don't hang out at all. I have it. I just don't know what to do with that fragrance. I don't know what to do with that fragrance. But the rest, the only one I'm missing now is Frostbite, and that will be in my collection soon enough. But Tease Me, absolutely beautiful fragrance. This is so refined luxury in terms of something that's light wearing and gives you a warm sillage, but it's not overpowering. This is the kind that you could actually overspray and not even offend yourself. It is that light, but still strong enough to give a compliment to someone that might be passing by. They will pick it up on you, and it's just not off-putting. I mean, some fragrances are that way. You can wear it, and it's just one of those fragrances that even if you have it wafting in the air like fresh bread. Is there such thing as an overdose of the scent of fresh bread? It's not off-putting. It's something that you unmistakably smell in the air, but not off-putting to most. Let me know if you found somebody who thinks fresh bread in the air is off-putting. I really would like to know. I paired that with this. This is Ansaam Gold from Lataffa. A lot of people either love this one or they hate it. I am someone who, I love it now. When I first got it, in all transparency, I wasn't too tickled with it. Wasn't too tickled, but this sat in my collection for about a good month or two, and it got to the place where I love it where it is today. When I first received it, this was not the same fragrance. As you know, or perhaps not, Middle Eastern fragrances need time to sit and mature and bake, if that's a way for you to better understand it. It needs to have time to bring together all of the ingredients that were used to compose it so that you will ultimately have the fragrance that you we'll end up with in the end. But this particular one is their impression of Parfums de Marly Oriana. I have never smelled Oriana, but this is a very sweet fragrance. Not the kind I don't like that rock candy sugar chip your teeth sweet kind of fragrance profiles. Not right now. Not right now. But this is sweet in like a honey sweet. It does not smell like honey, but it's sweet like a honey is sweet without tasting and smelling like honey. I really, really love it. Most people either hate this one or they hate to love it. So I'm one of those that hate to love it because I have to wait so long for it to get where I need it to be so that I can enjoy it. It took me some time to, I'm saying, when I said I sat it down, I didn't sit and wait. I was occupied with other fragrances. It's just that when I remembered I had it, then it came around to a place that I really enjoyed it. But purchasing this one again, say for instance, I'm probably about right here on this fragrance. So knowing that I do enjoy it enough to purchase it, I would have to get it now so that I could sit it down. And by the time I come around to it, maybe 2-3 months later, not that it needs that much processing time, but I would want to sit it down now so that when I do pick it up later, by the time I pick it up later, it'll be ready for me because it'll be where it is now. That's my only gripe with Ansaam Gold. It is not going to be ready to wear to my liking when I first sprayed out the bottle. It just isn't. Some fragrances are, some of them aren't. But I would certainly repurchase this without question. Ansaam Gold, their impression of Parfums de Marly Oriana. Aromatix, this is an original fragrance from them. Tease me for always in my collection, as with everyone that they've released thus far. The only one I've not yet smelled was Frostbite, and that is coming soon. I did not order it, but it's on my way, when I get a chance. That Carnal Desire, though, if you know what to do with it, you let me know. Let me know what you do with it, because that might be given away with lots of love and kisses. Next. I also wore this week something from Khadlaj, Le Prestige Empress. And this, I think this came out with a red bottle, a twin release they did. And this is the one that I have. And it does not come to my mind now, but I do want to say that this is the impression of another popular fragrance, a designer fragrance, and I will just post that once I discover what it is. I wore that with Brown Sugar Babe Musk Be Nice. And I paired it with an oil from Skinpotion. This is not the one. I wore it with, you know what? I wore it with Skinpotion Candyheart, and that's this bottle here. Still a large amount of fragrance because you don't need a lot of Candyheart, or at least I haven't needed a lot of it so far. And again, I'm walking slowly to the bench of sweet fragrances, and this is unmistakably sweet. So it was a nice way to wear it and still not have the abundance of sweetness because it was muted a little bit with Musk Be Nice. I wore these together, and then I applied the Le Prestige from Khadlaj, and it was a really nice light wearing fragrance day. I didn't get any compliments that day, but it was fine because as long as I can enjoy it first, then to me the day is already successful. So I really had a good time with that. So I decided to pair the two that came out at the same time. Really caused quite a stir amongst the fragrance community, and you will recognize the bottles if you're familiar with Middle Eastern brands. Vanilla Seduction and Vanilla Aura. I wore these two together on Thursday, and they made a splash. This one by itself caused a huge controversy. It is said to be a replica of a very popular Guerlain fragrance that I also don't have. Does not come to my mind immediately what that fragrance is, but I will post it for you. Whether it smells like that or not, this is absolutely beautiful. I'm not here to get into the argument. That's not the point of this conversation or channel. But this was so, so nice. And I paired it with this. Now, if you're not familiar with Kayali, this is said to be the house's presentation of Vanilla 28. For me, I will say Vanilla 28, this one starts out where Vanilla 28 ends. it takes quite some time. If you're familiar with ever receiving a Kayali bottle of Vanilla 28, it is not this dark, but as you hold on to it's actually, you see the color here, the lightness of this bottle at the bottom? That's how Vanilla 28 looks when you first receive it. Over time, it graduates to the depth of color here. And that's when it performs at its highest peak performance and sillage. And this fragrance starts with that. Upon first spray out the box, no need to sit and rest. It is ready to go as soon as you unbox. And that's what I love about this. So I've also heard it said that this is a more mature version of Vanilla 28, and I would also agree. Not to say that Vanilla 28 is a juvenile fragrance, not at all. Not at all. It is something for all ages, shapes, sizes, profiles. This one, however, has a level of sophistication, elevation. It's like getting a dessert from the grocery store versus having it served to you in a restaurant. The very fact that they're giving it to you with a plate on a saucer with the appropriate utensils, be it a fork, spoon, or sometimes a knife, that is the same. You might have the same flavors, but the presentation, the overall taste and finish of what you might be eating, that's what I'm getting. This would be what you would receive in the restaurant, whereas the Kayali fragrance might be what you might receive at the store. Not that it's bad, it's just that, you know, for me, I just like the performance of this one better. Not the fact that it's definitely miles and miles away from the price point that Kayali is asking for it, but some people just like to have the original. Nothing wrong with having the original. I was that way for a long time until I met this one. I do have Elysian, and that too is a very, very nice impression of Kayali 28, but for me, I really enjoy this one the most. So when I put this with the Vanilla Aura, it was a huge success. They both lasted me over 8 hours for the day. I put them on my clothes, and I also had them with an oil. I have the oil here somewhere. What oil did I place with it? Not that you need an oil, because I've worn those solo without oils, but whenever you put them with an oil, it's definitely going to stay. This is a final stock product, and I don't even know if it's going to be available. Brown Sugar Babe. This is called Vanilla Skye. They recently did Mercy, a 50% off for 50 minutes sale, and whatever might have been left behind on Vanilla Skye and the rest for that matter, good luck getting it. If this is one that was on your radar and you did not take advantage of purchasing it prior, if you did not take advantage of purchasing this prior to that 50% off sale that happened earlier this week, and I am telling you, it was the kind of thing where you had to wait in line online. You could choose your items, and while you were waiting in line online, many of the items you might have selected were disappearing because they were being sold out prior to you getting a chance to get to the checkout. That's what it was like, pure pandemonium. So I won't get into all that, but this was really, really nice. I'm still at the very top of this bottle, but it is one of my favorites. I would definitely choose this over the Vanilla Creme de, I think it's Creme de Creme. I will post it, but they do have a version of this on Brown Sugar Babe that is said to be their impression of Vanilla 28. This one I like better because this is an original fragrance. Unfortunately, they're saying it is the final stock and it's going to be gone. Well, that doesn't mean to throw away the recipe, so hopefully they won't throw it completely away. It's just not going to be available for purchase after it's sold out. But I put this with the Vanilla Aura and the Vanilla Seduction. Huge success for the day. I would definitely recommend wearing those together if you have the Vanilla Skye, and if you don't, go ahead and put together the Vanilla Aura and the Vanilla Seduction because they were truly a vanilla lover's dream, and I look forward to wearing it that way again. Next. The last pairing I want to share with you is the one I wore. Now, this is something I normally wouldn't have put together. I literally looked in my collection to choose fragrances that I hadn't worn, and if I couldn't remember the last time I wore it, that automatically qualified it to be the wearing fragrance for the day. So I grabbed my Qissa Delicious here, and I put it with the Honor and Glory from the Bade'e Al Oud collection. I want to say this is from Lataffa. Yes, it is. I hated this fragrance. Absolutely hated it when I first received it. Hated it. And, you know, even now, while I don't hate it, I look forward to finishing the bottle because it is like a, if you could, now this is for me, this is how I imagine this fragrance. If you could imagine a pineapple upside down cake with very, very crisp edges. I mean, burnt edges where you could see the coloring has been burned along the edges. And some people like the crust. Some people like the edges of a brownie rather than having the middle cut. Like I prefer the middle cut, but some people like the brownie or the corner of the edges of the brownie. Well, this is not chocolatey. It does not smell like a brownie. I'm just giving you the illusion. This to me smells like the charred or crusted areas of a pineapple upside down cake that tastes absolutely delicious, but it's that charred portion of the cake that you are starting and ending with. That's what this is for me. And I think, where am I at on this fragrance? Somewhere in the middle. I wore that with the Qissa Delicious. Actually, they work very well together. This is a gourmand fragrance, and they blended very, 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 very well together. Got a lot of compliments that day with this one, but I'm telling you, this is something, oh, I'm sorry, actually, I'm way up here on this bottle. You see what I mean? Of all the fragrances in the Bade'e Al Oud collection, my only repurchase would be the Noble Blush. That is the one in the very soft pink bottle. There is this one. There is another in that collection, the apple fragrance, which I have never tried, nor do I have a desire to. Nevertheless, this is what I wore for the week on, I want to say Tuesday. Very, very nice collection. And I'm right about here on this bottle. Right about here. And what a great surprise, because I didn't know. I just grabbed them. So I've never worn this, and I haven't worn it in a couple of months. Haven't worn this in a few months. Put them together. They work very well. Can't say I would do it again because I probably won't. I don't write these pairings down, but it was a huge success compliment-wise. People really did enjoy it. I guess, edible gourmands do have their corner of the sky where people enjoy smelling that food on another person. Sometimes it's just the allure of smelling something that they like in the air, even if they don't have it there in an edible format to eat. And other times people just like, oh, you smell like a cookie, or you smell like a pineapple, or you smell like whatever it is they think you smell like. And it's a nice conversation piece, if nothing else. But yeah, I once upon a time, if you've watched my videos, I was really, really into my edible, very, very edible gourmand fragrances. And today I don't mind them, but it's not my push and pull. I paired those with a fragrance that I'm almost done. This oil from Skinpotion. This is Costa Privé. I'm sorry. This is Costa del Sol. And I am nearly done with this. And actually, when I put it on, I forgot how much I enjoyed it. This is very tropical, great for the time of season we're getting ready to go into, spring and summer. And I would actually get more of this in the future. It's just I want to finish this bottle off. I've got quite a few Skinpotion oils, and I'm going to definitely get this again. It only comes so far in a 3.4 ounce. And it took me a little while to get here, but I got here and it paired very, very well with that Bade'e Al Oud Honor and Glory and the Qissa Delicious. So really, really nice surprise. I'm putting all three of these together. So yeah. Let me know, how do I look in these videos? Because my milestone videos should be coming out, or it might be posted by now. One of my biggest gripes was looking flushed out. Aside from the audio, you hearing me, and aside from the music bed, do I look flushed and washed out? Because this is, let me turn off the light. Hold on, let me show you the difference, because I don't know what this looks like. Actually, never mind. I don't know what this is going to look like until I turn it off. So hopefully I won't look flushed out. If I do, know that my gear is improving with every thought and every heartbeat. Just haven't gotten there yet. So I look forward to getting where I want to be and taking you along with me for the ride. So I just turned off my light when I realized I forgot to tell you all what I'm planning to wear once I get out of my work clothes. I'm planning to put on my Chris Collins Forbidden Apple Coque Moi. And I turned off my lights when I realized I didn't say anything. So now I'm wondering, do I look more natural here? Or let me cut the lights on, you can tell me. I can't tell. I mean, this is definitely lit, but I'm trying to play around with the lights. I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the monitor to see what it looks like. So here with the lights, without the lights. feel like I'm in the dimness. I feel like it's a little too dim now. Anyway, wanted to make sure I came back on and told you all, because I often wash up and get cleaned up and I put a fragrance on for the evening because I love wearing perfumes at home. It will be Chris Collins' Coque Moi, Forbidden Apple. Forbidden Apple, Coque Moi. So that's it. Finally wraps. That's it. Signing off for the evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Take good care until the next time. Bye.